Hello and welcome to Todd Rolls Dice, where we're going to take a look at another Sunday preview. This one taking place largely in the Mortal Realms. So let's get the admin out the way first. This is Sunday the 13th of July, which means everything shown in this article, unless otherwise stated, is going up for pre-order on Saturday the 19th of July and releasing Saturday the 2nd of August. So how about we take a look? First up, Battletome Blades of Khorne. We are running low on revealed products for actual things that will come out for release. This week is a bit surprising, but it isn't surprising that the Blades of Khorne are getting their Battletome in both Standard A4 and the Gamer Edition with the cards. While there's no surprises here, it is still nice to be getting this stuff. The new Spearhead is also coming, Fangs of the Blood God. It does come with Karanak and their Hounds of Karanak, I think they were called. The human figures in this were actually a Warcry band. Now isn't it funny how 90% of the Warcry bands are ending up in Spearheads? Beautiful models, but Warcry just isn't a thing. So where are they going to put them? I guess the Spearheads make sense, but I think that is just a further nail in the coffin of Warcry. But still, I think this is quite a nice Spearhead, and I bet it will be quite fun to play on the table. The Deathbringer is coming as well, so this is the only new release for the Blades of Khorne, but he's a multi-part plastic kit, which is good. You can choose between a cloak on his back or some trophy skulls, or you could kit bash both, I'm sure. The Claws of Karanak are also being re-released, I'm going to say. Not Hounds of Karanak, the Claws of Karanak. So these guys are available here. My theory with this then, and this might be the first time we see this, but I don't think it'll be the last. I feel like this is an Age of Sigmar rebox, so instead of them being in a Warcry box, they'll be in an Age of Sigmar box, and you can get them separately. Further, that's 2 nails. Oh no, hold on. They're an elite unit for your Blades of Khorne, but can also be used in games of Warcry. They mentioned Warcry for the first time in 6 months? So this article is very much treating it like Warcry is still a thing. Maybe we're going to see some Warcry on Friday. The Goreblade Warband is also coming out as well. Don't know what this is. Is this just like a starter box that isn't a Spearhead? Box includes a Mighty Lord of Khorne, a Blood Secretor, a Blood Stoker, a Khorgorath, 5 Blood Warriors and 10 Blood Reavers, all unique models that can only be found in this box. So what does that mean? I guess that's effectively just the starter box for Blades of Khorne. It isn't labelled up as a Spearhead. Interesting. I like it. I'm not entirely sure how user-friendly this is, but okay, at least these models are still going to be available in some form, because they're not new models. They might be unique models, but certainly that one in the front, or that one I don't think, are brand new models. We also have a Regiments of Renown, the Red Revelation. So this is, where are we? A half-crazed Slaughter Priest with his entourage of 5 Skull Reapers and 10 Blood Reavers. These models look like they're from a while ago. They don't look that new. Were these Age of Sigmar 1st edition? I suppose it's good that they're coming back. You also get your Blades of Khorne War Scrolls and what I think is some nice looking dice. That mottled red with the black, and then that, maybe the yellow of the Khorne symbol is a little bit naff, but I don't think they're that bad. But also, we're not done with Age of Sigmar, because Battletome Kharadron Overlords is coming out again in the A4 hardback and the Gamer Edition. Their new Spearhead, the Gunstock Trailblazers, is coming. You know, that's a better picture than what they actually showed to preview it 3-4 weeks ago now. The Null Chemist is coming. I really don't like that model. The Von Grimm Harpoon crew with the optional assembly of, are they salvagers? Yeah, Von Grimm salvagers. Some really nice heads in here. And weapons, actually. This kit is definitely growing on me. Definitely the highlight of what's coming for the Kharadron Overlords. And also you're getting the Zontari Endrindoc, which is basically their manifestations, because they don't have magic, they have contraptions. But I think that they look quite nice, they're nicely detailed. And then a Regiment of Renown Drekki's Privateers is also coming out. So this is the infamous Drekky Flint. I believe he was released on his own not too long ago. That's the guy in the middle there. He was maybe a special edition miniature. He also has a novel, but this is a box containing Drekky Flint, 10 Arkanauts, and then an Arkanaut frigate representing the legendary sky vessel Elsling, Flint's beloved flagship. I think it's quite nice that they're doing this. Obviously, Regiments of Renown and things we haven't really seen much because this hasn't been previewed, so we'll find out in the next week or so what all of this is going to do. But I quite like it where you put together a moment or a character from a story and give him a little crew. I think it's quite nice. It's a fun little way of doing Regiments of Renown. And then you get their War Scroll cards and their dice as well. So their dice are gold. I would need to see them in the flesh. They might be really nice, they might look really tacky. From this picture, I can't make my mind up. I'll let you guys make your minds up in the comments below. But I don't think they're terrible, and they're very different to everything else, and it fits that Kharadron Overlords vibe. So I'm all up for that. We also have a made-to-order Age of Sigmar terrain set. So this is 7 classic terrain sets of returning to made-to-order basis. Does it say when you need to get your orders in? Yeah, so all of these kits are ready to order straight away on the 19th of July and will continue to be available until 8 AM BST on Monday the 28th of July. And as with all made to order miniatures, they may take up to 180 days to arrive. I have been banging on to anybody that will listen about how Age of Sigmar and Games Workshop in general just don't have enough terrain sets for all of their games. It's very disappointing, so it's nice that these are coming back. The trees are a little bit uninspired, but I suppose it works. And then you have a variety of what looks like Sigmarite temples and areas. I mean, they're quite nice. So we've got those 4 there, and then we have another 3 here. It's all a bit Sigmar-y though, isn't it? I quite like these, definitely nice ruins. They have an old Greek vibe to them, which is cool. They're not that exciting, are they? Let's be honest. They need to make new terrain. The problem with made-to-order terrain as well is they'll put a hefty price on it. So if you do want these, just be aware this will probably be the only place that you can get them unless you have an FLGS that still stocks this stuff. But maybe this is opening up the floodgates for some new terrain sets, potentially. Because Gairan is where the new year is set, the new season. It would be nice if we got some Gairan themed stuff to go with that, and then every season or every couple of seasons, whatever, we got something. Because we really do need some more proper terrain. I know you can get 3D printed terrain, and honestly a lot of the 3D printed terrain is incredible, but it is always nice, certainly from my point of view, it's always nice to see the official stuff. Might not want to pay full price for it, but I do like the official stuff. Carrying on with the model realms, Warhammer Underworlds is getting Kamandora's Blades. We've talked about them, we'll just move on. And then the Raging Slayer's Rivals deck. This Rivals deck sounded really fun, and if I was playing Underworlds, I'd definitely pick up the deck, because it's definitely the kind of way that I would play. They're coming as well. Then over to Black Library, Queen of the Rose Throne by Gary Cloyster. So this is continuing the tale of Nissa Volare, who is a Soulblight vampire, and it continues her story in hardback, ebook, and audible. We also have Hammers of Ulrich. So this is a classic Middenheim's tale that is billed up as Warhammer The Old World. This is an audiobook, and it contains Hammers of Ulrich by Dan Abnett, Nick Vincent, and James Wallace. It's a classic tale of the Empire from the world that was. So if you're enjoying the Old World setting and you haven't heard Hammers of Ulrich, I mean, anything by Dan Abnett is going to be good. So if you're into the Empire side of things, this might be up your street. Horus Heresy Novella Collections. Now there's a chunk of these. They are all audiobooks, but this is obviously to promote Horus Heresy 3.0 going up for pre-order at the weekend, just gone. So this is up to 24 novellas. We've got 8 collections of 3 each. Now I'll run through what's in these. Collection 1, Promethean Sun by Nick Kime, Aurelian by Aaron Dembski Bowden, and Reflection Cracked by Graham McNeil. Collection 2, Feet of Iron by Nick Kime, The Lion by Gav Thorpe, and The Serpent Beneath by Rob Sanders. Collection 3, The Crimson Fist by John French, Brotherhood of the Storm by Chris Raitt, and Prince of Crows by Aaron Dembski-Bowden. Collection 4, Korax, Soulforge by Gav Thorpe, Scorched Earth by Nick Kime, and Talan Executioner by John French. Collection 5, Ravenlord by Gav Thorpe, The Purge by Anthony Reynolds, and The Seventh Serpent by Graham McNeil. Collection 6, Talan Ironclad by John French, Cybernetica by Rob Sanders, and Wolf King by Chris Wright. Collection 7, The Honoured by Rob Sanders, The Unburdened by David Annandale, and Garrow, Vow of Faith by James Sallow. And finally, Collection 8, Sons of the Forge by Nick Kime, Dreadwing by David Geimer, and Spear of Ultramar by David Annandale. So that is a big selection of Horus Heresy audiobooks going up. Well, novellas, but Fall of Cadia by Robert Rath is coming out in paperback and ebook in French. Kharadron's Void Exile by Robbie McNiven is coming out in French and German. Again, it's paperback and ebook. Horus Heresy Omnibus 18 is coming out in German edition, so this contains Heralds of the Siege anthology, Titan Death by Guy Haley, The Buried Dagger by James Sallow. It looks like Heralds of the Siege is by Nick Kime and Laurie Golding, potentially some others as well that aren't billed there. That's coming out in hardback and ebook in German. Over onto Warhammer TV Plus, we have Scrap Demon, which is making an assassin miniature from 10 random sprues to craft an epic duel between two characters in the 41st millennium. That could be fun. I like kit bashing. I've got a video coming out this week coming of me kit bashing something. I just love kit bashing. I haven't watched any Scrap Demon for a while. For me, it all depends what they're making, but coming up with an assassin miniature could be really fun. Deep Strike invites Sarah and Andy from the Warhammer studio to discuss the epic cinematic trailer for the new edition of Horus Heresy. It was a very nice trailer. And How We Roll digs into the creation of Grand Cathay in the Old World. I should really watch some of the How We Roll stuff, because that's the kind of things that I normally find interesting about designing miniatures and settings and all of this cool stuff. I really need to catch up. And over here on Warhammer Community, they're rounding off the last few tidbits of the Horus Heresy coverage, and they're also going to be doing some painting as well as the trifling matter of the big Warhammer summer preview. They say you probably don't want to miss it. I will link my video of what I think is going to be there, preview at the end of this, so if you haven't seen it, do go check that out and let me know what you think. But yes, on Friday 7 PM UK time we get the big Warhammer summer preview. Because of that, I think that WarCom generally is going to be fairly quiet. I think we might even be down to the current 2 articles a day. Probably going to get something revealed on Monday. I still think there's going to be a new model reveal. I hope it's more Palanite Enforcers, because Necromunda isn't at the summer preview. It could also be Middle-earth strategy battle game, because that's about the only other game that isn't going to get something at this summer preview. But I expect WarCom to be fairly quiet. Doesn't mean we're going to be quiet here on this channel, but I expect that WarCom is actually going to be another quiet week while they get ready for this big preview, which I really hope delivers. So what are we going with for pick of the preview? I mean, just for a joke, I might go with Kamandora's Blades, because I do love the dog. The demon puppy is pretty cool. But let's be realistic here. I actually really like these guys, the Harpoon crew, and I like those, the Salvagers crew. But I think from what we've got here, my pick of the preview is going to be the Deathbringer. It just screams Conan heavy metal 80s fantasy vibes, and that's the kind of thing I love. So quite a busy preview, probably not a lot for a huge amount of people, but we've had some real big releases over the last 6 weeks. 8 weeks, probably include Chaos as well. All the Space Wolves, Horus Heresy 3.0 is currently up for pre-order. So there's been a lot going on. This is probably a welcome quieter week for anybody that doesn't focus on Age of Sigmar. But let me know what stands out for you in the comments and if there's anything in this preview that you'll be picking up on Saturday. And please do go check out my preview of the big Warhammer Summer Preview. Like I say, it's linked at the end of this video. And if you've enjoyed this, we cover the preview every Sunday as long as there is something to talk about. So if you have enjoyed this video, please do drop a like on it. Leave a comment if you're inclined. Make sure you subscribe to the channel as well. We had a really good week last week. The growth is very nicely progressing. We've hit over 250 subscribers, which might not be a huge number. It's pretty good, I think. For me, I'm very happy with it. And as we continue to grow and we hit that point where we are able to monetize the channel, that just means I'm going to be able to do a lot more stuff going forward. So any help and support, the usual YouTube stuff that you guys can do and are happy to do, it is very much appreciated, and it helps us grow as a community so we can reach our goals together. Well, that's it from me. I'm going to go because you can probably tell my voice is going. And yeah, I'll be back tomorrow with something. As always, thank you very much for watching, and I'll see you all in the next one.